Hello, this is Michael Eure, and I'd like to invite you to the Michael Eure Show, featuring student hosts and very special guests talking about a variety of interesting topics. You can find us on the Eagle Stream YouTube channel. Good morning and welcome to the Michael Eure Show. And this is the first show for the fall semester, and our very special guest is Dr. Carenado Davis, Dean of Library Services. So right now, could everybody briefly introduce themselves? And we'll start with you, Gary. Oh, you're muted? Are you muted? Ooh, something's going on with your sound right now, but we'll come back to you. So, Dr. Davis.
I'm Carenado Davis, and as Michael mentioned, I'm the Dean of Library Services here at Wake Tech.
Okay. You want to try, Jerry? Or do you have a question that you feel comfortable asking? Is your sound back? All right, well, I'm going to do the first question. Dr. Davis, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I'll give a brief summary of how I kind of grew up and how I kind of came to be where I am at this point. So it all started, I grew up in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, here over in the east part of the state. And, you know, I grew up in one of what is considered one of the toughest neighborhoods there in Rocky Mount. So it wasn't an easy road. It was a challenge, but as you can see, things did work out. So I graduated with honors from Rocky Mount Senior High School in 1997. So I'm going to date myself a little bit. So my college life actually started at Edgecombe Community College. I went there as a college transfer student. And while there, I was told about the opportunities to transfer to different colleges throughout North Carolina. And one that stuck out to me was ECU. So I went to ECU for my undergrad. I went to North Carolina Central for my master's, and then I went to Capella University for my PhD. So at ECU, my major was business administration with my concentration was decision sciences or management information systems. My master's degree was, of course, library science, and my PhD was in education, where I focused on post-secondary and adult education. So with all of that, this kind of led to what my career is now. I've worked in libraries for 20 years now, and I began in 2001 as a work-study student. And from there, progressively moved on from work-study to a graduate assistant to a program tech, which focused on the video conferencing piece at the library. I worked in the government documents department. I was in the reference department as the technology technician. I also taught online for the ECU Library School, and also taught online for Ashford University, teaching information literacy and grad courses with ECU for the library school. From there, I actually went to Lenore Community College, one of the other community colleges in our system, and I was the coordinator of library services there, and then moved on into the role of library director there as well. After that, I was a associate professor back at ECU again, but this time on the health sciences side, as a health science librarian. My job there really focused on being the liaison between the library and the Brody School of Medicine. So I did a lot of work with doctors and physicians, residents, fellows, things like that with their research. And after that, I ended up where I am now today as Dean of Library Services here at Wake Tech. And so definitely grateful for the path that I've had and the road that I've traveled, the journey that I've had. For me, it really wasn't always a thought that I would be in college, that I would go to college. For me, everything changed and started. That spark started with me in high school. The high school business teacher, she was over our business club, and I was a part of that. And so we actually took a tour of ECU as part of being in the business club. And from that tour and her encouraging me, that's where that spark that I could actually go to college started. And so after attending Edgecombe Community College, I decided I wanted to go to ECU. And that's kind of where it all began. And I'm still on that journey of learning.
Okay, thanks. Now, Jerry, do you want to try again, at least to introduce yourself?
Can you hear me now? All right, great. My name is Jerry Green. This is my second year here at Wake Tech. I'm majoring in cybersecurity, and I've been working alongside Michael Eure here as a student outreach ambassador.
And do you want to try the next question? Or...
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll ask question. All right, Mr. Davis, how did you transition from majoring in IT into becoming a librarian, and how are your two professions related?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I graduated as a decision science major, that was around 2002. So that was around the time when the tech bubble actually burst. And so as I was getting ready to leave college, there were not a lot of jobs available. A lot of the places where I wanted to work in IT were actually laying off people and things like that. So it wasn't a lot of opportunity with my tech degree. So I was still working at the library while I was as I was graduating. So while in the library, I had the opportunity to work with some of the IT staff that were behind the scenes in the library. And so for me, that's where I kind of saw an opportunity to use my IT degree within the library. And so I decided I didn't have a job, so I decided I need to go back to school. And I went back to school to get my library science degree, library and information science degree. And so from there, the idea was to merge my interest in IT into the library world with behind the scenes, working with the databases, the servers, and the networks, making sure that all of the pieces that make our online databases and our online resources work, making sure that I was able to be a part of that to use my technology degree. But as things moved on, I worked in so many different parts of the library. I've pretty much held positions or did the work in almost every piece of library work. And so I was exposed to a lot of different pieces of the library. And the piece that I really found myself liking, of course, was technology, but also the reference component. So I enjoyed teaching the classes and helping students learn how to use our resources and databases and being that, working within the library in that piece as well. And so after that, a lot of my career kind of shifted that way. But a lot of what is done in the library, a lot of what makes the library work is technology driven. So I think the two they work well together. For me, it's been a benefit because actually when I was at Lenore Community College, when I first went there, because of my background, I was able to establish our virtual reference system and our chat system, just using some basic coding that I knew and knowledge of some widgets and knowing how to make those work based on my technology background. So we were able to implement that virtual reference service, which proved to be beneficial for our students.
All right, thank you. And now, Sarah, you can move us to the side and pull up the PowerPoint that Jerry Green, our cybersecurity expert, put together. And then what I want Dr. Davis to do is just tell us a little bit about each of the campus libraries. And then I think he wants you to pull up his website so he can talk about things in more detail. So right now I'm just gonna be quiet, and it's up for you to describe and tell her. She'll advance after you say what you want to say. Thank you. Dr. Davis,
Okay.
Where is that?
This is on our webpage. So this is actually where you find the information of how to get in contact with each of the individual libraries. So here at Wake Tech, we have 6 different libraries. We have a 7th that's being worked on right now in our East Wake area. So all students, faculty, staff have access to the resources, our print resources, our databases, our study rooms, computer labs, printing, research, reference assistants. You all have access to that as students of Wake Tech. And also, if you're off campus, you still have access to our resources through your Wake Tech login. Right. And what you're seeing here is just the overview of all of the library operating hours for each library.
Next slide. If there are some more. Are there some more? Yes. And that's the web page. Is this live? No? Keep going, Sarah. And this is, of course, Scott Northern Wake Campus is where I'm at. And students that are listening, especially our first semester students, the library is not a scary place. Dr. Davis is a really great guy, and all the librarians will help you in many, many ways. So the next slide, please.
So what we like to tell everyone is that you're able to attend any of the libraries and use any of the libraries. We're one library. We are Wake Tech Libraries. We're just serving multiple campuses. So regardless of what campus you go to, you'll be able to use any of our resources across the 6 libraries.
Next slide. That's Southern Wake Campus Library. RTP. Do you have anything special you want to say about RTP?
RTP is one of our one of our more innovative libraries. It doesn't have walls, so it's a little bit unique and different in how that space is used. It's a really good library, for studying and for really getting the chance to see, for those who are especially in technology fields, to really get to see how the innovation was put into that library to be a library without walls that really embrace that open concept and collaboration.
All right, next slide. Perry Health Science. Nothing. We're gonna get you to go into details in a little bit if you don't. And next, I think that might be the last one. And then we're gonna pull up your website. But thank you for giving us that. And for the students, I am working with all online students this semester, and it's a bunch of them. So I want you to make sure that you come and take advantage of this and not wait till midterm. Do it now. Thank you. All right, this is on you, Dr. Davis. Just ask Sarah what you want.
Okay. So I think we left off also the PSEC library, which is our public safety campus. But they also have a library on that campus as well. So first of all, what I want to really do is just give you a quick overview of some of the resources, just a sample and the idea of some of the resources that you have available through all of the libraries here at Wake Tech. These are all resources that are at your fingertips pretty much. So we have study rooms available at our North, South, West, and RTP libraries. You can reserve those in person or online. You all have access to over 109 databases, over 65,000 print books, over 470,000 ebooks, over 4,900 DVDs, CDs, audio resources that are physical, and over 500,000 digital and streaming videos. We have over 1,800 audio books available, over 40,000 electronic newspapers and journals. And within those, you have access to over 34 million articles. So it's a lot of resources available to you. We have hundreds of devices available for checkout, which includes laptops, hotspots, iPads, And I'll show you a little bit later on the webpage where to see a list of the other equipment that we have as well. And we have some online tutorials and research guides available to you to help you with learning how to use our resources.
Can we get you to hold right there, because we have some questions in the chat.
Okay.
If you can answer those. So do you want to read? This is from Dr. Carlos McCormick. Do you want to read that one, Jerry?
All right. Mr. McCormick says, good afternoon. What advice would you give individuals seeking to work in the library profession? Thank you.
Okay. What I would say is to get familiar with libraries. I would say what helped me is I volunteered at some different libraries to really see what I wanted to do within the library. So I volunteered at the public library. Of course, I worked at community college libraries. I worked at university libraries. I worked in health science libraries. So the main thing is to use the libraries, get comfortable with libraries, talk to librarians, and see what their jobs entail. Understand too that the library profession isn't the image that I had of it, where you just sit at the circulation desk and check out books and tell people to be quiet and shush everyone. That is far from what we do in the library profession. There's so much more that happens behind the scenes. So if you can get involved somehow with the local library or even your college library to just see what it takes to run a library, what all the behind the scenes things happen. Like I said, for me, what attracted me to the library was the IT component. But once I started working in the library, I started seeing all the other pieces that I could get involved in.
All right, we have another question. Jerry, we're going to let that be your job today. This is from Wake Tech ILC tutoring.
They said each library on campus is so unique. What's your favorite and why?
Oh, I love all of our libraries. I love all of them. I can't pick. It's like your children. You can't pick your favorite child. At least you don't tell which one is your favorite. But I like all the libraries. I think they all have unique culture and how they serve our students. Each one is so different. Like you mentioned, my office is located at North, so I may be a little biased there because that's where my home office is. But I enjoy visiting all of the libraries because each one brings something unique and different to the table and has its own way of providing and serving our students.
And we have one more question, and then we'll let you go back. Jerry, you ready? Another from the ILC.
Where should the students start if they need help with research?
Now, first thing I would say, get in contact with the librarian if you go to a particular campus, if you spend time at a particular campus, get in contact with the librarians there at that campus and set up a one-on-one consultation with them just to so that they can walk you through what the research process is and how to use some of the resources that you'll need for doing your research. So a lot of times we'll go to classrooms or classrooms will come to us, but I think the one-on-one pieces really allow the student to ask some of those questions that they may not ask in the classroom setting. And also it allows us as the librarians to really tailor and customize how we're able to help you.
All right, so we can go back to your presentation. And students, if you have questions, remember to ask them in the chat because we're 2/3 finished.
Okay. All right, Sarah, just really quickly, I just want to highlight some of the main pieces of our webpage. So over there on the left, you have the About the Libraries. If you can click that one for me. So this is really just general information about the libraries, how the policies and things like that, expected behaviors and content within the library, our mission statement, what we what we believe our mission is in serving our user community, and also gives information on how to access the libraries on campus and if you're off campus. All right, can you go back? And that next one there. Yes. So this page is how you search our online catalog for print books. So Sarah, if you can click in that first drop down box there. Yes, that one. So you can search the Wake Tech libraries, or if you click on it, the arrow, you can search individual libraries for books. And you can also search any of the libraries within our system. We share a catalog with the other community colleges in the system. So you can search specific libraries to Wake Tech. You can search all of the Wake Tech libraries, or you can search libraries at other community colleges. All right. Can we go back to the main page and search in databases? So this is where you will find access to our databases. You can use the A to Z list here to get a comprehensive list of all the databases, alphabetical order. NC Live also provides access to resources that are online. And the eJournal Portal is where you can search for journals and journal articles as well. And if you want, you can use the subject search. So based on whatever your subject, we have the databases broken down by that subject. All right, thank you, Sarah. And the research guides. So these guides are what I mentioned earlier. These are tutorials and pages that our librarians have put together by different subjects, but some of these are also for specific classes. So let's say if you click on the English one, you'll see that some professors have asked us to create pages for individual classes. So we can do that. But also, if you go up to the library resources, there's a lot of information here for you as well. It's right there on the right, Sarah. Yes. So there's a lot of information in here for you as well for our library resources. All right, and making an appointment. So here you can make an appointment with one of the librarians at any of the libraries, or you can make an appointment for a curbside appointment to pick up a device or a book or a resource. It's very simple. You just click on which campus you want to visit, and then you complete the reservation, and it books the reservation for you. All right, and contact the libraries. So this right there at the top there where it says library services, that's our main library number for our call center. So if you call this number, it'll route you to one of our libraries, and we'll be able to it'll route you to the call center, and we'll be able to put you in contact with one of our libraries. But also, if you go to any one of these tabs here, it'll take you directly to the individual web page for each library. So Sarah, let's click on North since we're here at North. Just show you what that looks like. Can you click the North tab for me, Sarah?
She clicked, but nothing happened. But we do have another question and comment, and we can get back to that.
Okay.
This is from Laura Bethea, who is a wonderful person. So you got to read hers, Jerry. You met her. You helped bring her in the teams when we had the African American Latino mixer.
Yeah,
So
I
you
remember her.
certainly want to. Yes. So you want
She
to read
says,
her.
"Good afternoon. Thank you for emphasizing how volunteerism serves as a means to jumpstart a career in the library profession. All experience counts."
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And this is Dr. Chris O'Riordan Aja, and you remember him from playing the djembe drums, Jerry. Success Coach Outreach Ambassadors get to do lots of work. So you can read that.
He says, "Does the library have staff and availability to come to the classroom when invited for about half an hour to walk students through how to do research and document references?"
Absolutely, yes. We love to do that. We welcome those opportunities, and we want many, many more of those opportunities. So, whichever campus you're on, just reach out to the campus librarian, and we can get that set up for you. And even on our webpage, we have a form as well where you can request instruction. So yes, absolutely, yes. We want to come to classrooms. We want to talk to your students about research and how to use the library.
All right, we're going to go back to where you left off, and it's live now.
Okay, all right. So this is the North Library's webpage. So you have a listing of all the staff here, information about the library. Again, the book an appointment link is there. We also have that equipment that I was mentioning available. So Sarah, if you could click on that link on the far right, library, at the very bottom, that third link there, library equipment. So this is some of the equipment that we have available. This is all the equipment at the North Library, but all of our libraries have laptops, hotspots, and a mixture of some of this other equipment, calculators and whiteboards and things like that. But Sarah, we look at this 21-day long laptop. If you click on availability, this will show you what laptops we have available. And from here, you can actually reserve a device, or for this one in particular, you can reserve a laptop. And then once you reserve it, you have like a 2-hour window to come pick it up before it goes back into the available inventory. So this is a way to take a look and see what we have available if you need it, especially if you have to travel from one campus to another, or if you're traveling from home in a different part of the county, you're trying to get to North Campus, you can see what we have available before you get here. And you can reserve it, so once you get here, that speeds up that process. All right, thank you, Sarah.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And I want you right now to tell us about some of the fun stuff, because our libraries are fun. Tell us about some of those activities that students can participate in.
Okay, so of course, like everyone, COVID has the pandemic put a damper on some of our in-person programming. But a lot of the things that we have done, some of the things that we've done in the past, we hope to pick back up this fall and into the spring. But we did also do some of these things virtually when we were, in the middle of the pandemic. So right now, a few things that we have going on right here at North, we have a duck scavenger hunt. So there are little ducks spread out throughout the library. And so when you find one of those ducks, you take it to our circulation desk, and you have opportunity to spin our prize wheel and get a prize there. But the idea is for the students to be able to take a look around the library, explore the library, and see, really explore the space and see what they have access to. Over at Perry Health, and also at the West Campus, we have goodie bags available for at Perry Health early college students that check out an item, and also at West for students that take a tour of the library. We have goodie bags. So other things that we do is each month, our diversity, equity, and inclusion working group within the library, they celebrate different themes each month. So we'll have different book different book displays, and sometimes there'll be little interactive activities. One time we had a date with the book. I think it was around the February time, had a date with the book. So you check out a book and have a date with it, so to speak. We've had live stream sessions. We had a Grow with Google live stream session. We've had the Amazing Race Library Edition, where it's based on the television game, where teams or individuals go on Amazing Race scavenger hunt throughout the library. And all teams get a prize, but there's a grand prize for the fastest team that completes the scavenger hunt. We've done things with Banned Books Week and censorship. We've hosted the homelessness simulation event, where we got a firsthand look at an exposure to what it's like to be homeless in Wake County. That was a very powerful event to really see the needs of some of our users within our community right around us that we see every day. We've also hosted a game night where students were able to demo their video games that they created in preparation for the gaming convention. We've collaborated with the drama department to have them come over and do storytelling events. We normally have therapy dogs during exams, so that people can come in and pet the therapy pets, just to help them relax a little bit during the exam time. We currently have a young adult book club. We've hosted webinars. We've had author discussions. The most recent one was with the author Zelda Lockhart. We've had mindfulness workshops in collaboration with IOC. We've partnered with student advocacy and support to offer workshops. And we also have a craft-a-noon with one of our library staff, where you can talk through different crafts that you're interested in and that you're working on, and you all can collaborate and get help. And if you need help with some of those areas, and learn some new crafting activities. Some of the things that we have planned upcoming is we want to have a diversity fair. We were planning it before the pandemic, but now that we're moving back into being back on campus, we want to have that planned event again. We also are in the works of developing a maker space. So with that, we'll have 3D printers, laser cutters, heat press for making T-shirts and things like that. And so we have some planned pop-up events for that as well. So those are just some of the things that we've done in the past, some things that we have coming up.
Thank you. We got a couple of more questions. And for the students, we went over a little bit, but you can always view this on YouTube, and it'll be up perpetually. So we're going to ask the question. Laura Bethea, again, from Career Deployment Resources and other offices. Jerry, you ready?
Laura Bethea says, how will library services evolve in the next 5 to 10 years?
How will they evolve? Well, I think what makes the library unique is that we constantly evolve as based on the needs of our users. So one thing that we have done as a library is, with the pandemic, it kind of showed us where we need to focus some of our attention. And so a lot of that was on ebooks. We have plenty of print books, but of course, when the pandemic hit, people couldn't get here to actually use those print books. So we needed to have those resources available at other means. So I think having those digital resources available, having us as library staff retooling in certain areas, especially around technology, and being able to utilize that technology to meet those needs of our users. But also, I think that the library itself is moving more toward creating an experience for students. So as more students have access to resources and technology, it'll be more of what is that experience they're receiving when they come to the library. And I think that's kind of where we're going to be headed, especially as we embrace the next generation of users with our millennials who value experiences. And so I think as a library, being able to incorporate those things into what we do as well with information literacy and digital literacy, and how do we create that experience as well?
I love it. We have another question. And the Falcon staff love the experiences in the library too. I just want you to know. You ready from ILC tutoring, Jerry?
And how did you evolve? They said, and how did you evolve during COVID to continue supporting students?
So we've always had a lot of our services available online. So with COVID, it kind of forced our hand to move some other services much faster. So we took a look at some of our policies and our procedures. So we moved our instruction to Teams. So, and we still incorporate that now. So you can still have a Teams session with us for library assistance, or if you want us to teach your class, we can still teach a class for you. We can still do that via Teams. We took some of our high touch services and tried to streamline those and made it as efficient as possible with curbside delivery, pre-checkout for certain materials, so that it was less contact and we were able to reduce how much contact we were having with people and reduce the time people were having to spend completing forms and things like that by putting those things online as well.
All right. And I know we have at least one more comment. All right, Laura Bethay, she loves you. Go ahead, Jerry.
I love your DEI focus initiatives. Is that right? I can't wait to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one thing that we as a library, as one of our core values, is diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think as libraries, it's important that our resources reflect diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our services reflect that. And it's also important that our staff reflect that as well, considering the diverse student population that we serve.
All right. And we're winding it down, but Sarah, if you don't mind, if you could put my email up, if any student is interested in becoming a host or working with this show in any way, and particularly if I'm your success coach, you please email me, or you can contact me through Teams. And then we're going to end it by keeping up the library's email address. But at the moment, Jerry, do you have any final statements? And then I'm going to let you close it, Dr. Davis.
No, I don't have anything else to say. I'm just grateful for the information you were able to share today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Glad to do it. Always glad to share about the library and be an advocate for the libraries. I think, as students, one of the best things you can do is to get to know your library early, get to know your librarians early. Reach out and come to some of the events that are happening. Come take a look and take a tour of the libraries to get to know the resources that are there. You'll be surprised that what's there is not just books. You may have a preconceived idea that it's just books, but it's not just books. There's so much more there. One of the greatest resources in the libraries are the people. And they're willing to help you and want to help you and there to help you as much as we can.
Yes, and I want to give a shout out to all the librarians. Y'all are very helpful to students. I take them there all the time. I'm glad you do so much virtually, and we're going to try to get with you and do some gamification things for our students and give out some prizes. But we have one more comment for you from Makiba Dobson. You want to read that, Jerry?
She says, explore all the great resources by making an appointment with the librarian. Exploring the actual settings, log on to Wake Tech for the library section, or indulge in all of the above together.
Thank you, Makiba. Oh, well, thank you, Dr. McCormick. You want to read that one really quick?
Mr. McCormick says, thank you everyone for this great conversation.
Laura Bethay.
And Laura Bethay says, thank you for sharing a wealth of information today. Kudos to the library services.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, we're ending it now for real. But thank you, Dr. Davis, and we're going to have you back again for certain. And
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing all that information. And Sarah, next time we're gonna do some other fun things, but I just got to let you have one more say the last word, Dr. Davis.
Well, again, I am happy for all of the students that are coming in this semester, and we look forward at the libraries to working with you and serving you and helping you. Please feel free to reach out to us anytime you need assistance, you need help. Even if it's a question where it's not research related, we help with all types of things. So feel free to make the library your friend. We want to be viewed as one of the central spaces for safe spaces for students to be able to come and study and collaborate and embrace that piece of learning. So feel free to reach out to us. We want you to come see our spaces. So we invite you to come check us out.
One more question, and I'll do this one for you, Jerry, because you've been so good today. From Makiba Dobson, do we have to make an appointment for a tour?
You do not have to make an appointment for a tour, but it would be helpful, especially during this time of the semester when we're really busy with teaching classes and helping throughout the library with different pieces. So if the library staff know that you're coming and want a tour specifically, I think it'll be more beneficial because we know that you're coming, and we can also carve out that time where it's not a rushed event. We can take our time and show you the different pieces and explain what the library has.
All right. Again, thank you, and thank you to the audience and all the questions and comments. We're about to say goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Michael Eure show, and we'll have that information available for you soon. We're doing our schedule as we speak. Again, and thank you, Sarah. Sarah in the background, Sarah Rothman Rose. She does all that technology for us in the background, and we appreciate it very much.